Now is your time to flame.
We are the champions, my friends. We'll keep on fighting to the end.
Boo, boo, boo.
We are the champions. We are the champions.
I'm gonna edit this crap
no
out.
time for losing.
I'ma
Cause
edit it
we are the champions.
We still love the king. We still are witnesses.
Of the world.
Nobody wanna hear this.
Woo!
His
Let's
NFL
go, baby.
team is the Bucks.
What's going on, world? This is your moderator, B. Jones, coming to you live from the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. We got another great show lined up for you today. Of course, we got to celebrate the champions, the Golden State Warriors, and my dog, KD Trey 5. Killed them last night. But yeah, let me get these introductions out the way. First up, T.I. J. Dace. What's happening, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? As far as like, are we keeping that in?
I don't know, man. We might have it out.
Okay, all right. But no.
What are you doing?
No.
What are you doing?
No. My bad. Hey, what's going on,
On
man?
the show with old girl.
Oh,
Oh yeah, we can get into that too,
It
man.
just
Of course,
got
our man
real-
Jay
it
Dace
just
went
got real
live for
dark
the second
over
time over what day was that? Like Sunday, Monday, Sunday.
Sunday.
So we'll get into that little show a little bit later on the show. But welcome, Jay Dace. What's happening, man?
Hey, we out here
Moving right
living
along to
life,
Scooby. Scooby, what's going on, man?
You know what? I am excited tonight. I'm trying to hold down the excitement. Last week I wasn't in the best. I wasn't at 100% art positive. I was about 97, 95. But today I feel good. I am good. It was a great day. But I'm gonna need some help on this one from the fella. So if you know this, chime in. Keep your head up. What? Keep your head up. That's right. Whenever life gets tough, you gotta fight. With my homegirl standing to my left and my right,
and the
true
right.
blue,
True
we tight like glue.
Yay. Cause we live in a single.
Man,
In the 90s kind of world, she was glad she had her girl.
There it is.
I didn't grow up with no sisters. I definitely did watch Living Single, but that went over my head for a little bit. I'm glad Jay was able to help me out with the melody because I was like, what is he talking about? But thank you for that, CMO Faison. Welcome to the show, man. DJ Barry B Fresh, what's going on, sir?
Hey man, sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the facts. We talk about Chip and Dale. Let's go. Rescue Rangers in the building. We are here. We are live. Let's get it.
Hey man, that's a nice throwback right there. I used to be live with the Rescue Rangers, man, Chip and Dale. I used to love that show, man.
The bomb Diggy.
Easy, and last but not least, the prolific one. Carol, what you got for us, man? What you got?
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? Yes, we are, Kay. We're looking for you.
I thought he was gonna go in full Adele, man.
Nope, that was it. Just one say hello.
That was it.
Keeping it light.
But there it is, man. Welcome to the show, man. We got a great show lined up for you today. The Golden State Warriors took it home last night, man. I was so excited last night watching that game. It was a really good basketball game, though, man. You definitely got to get the Cavs their just due because they put up a really, really good fight, man. I want to get you guys' take on the game, what you saw, what you thought, and then we're going to go on from there. So I'm going to go to Jay first, man. I know you had to watch it.
Yeah, I caught it, man. I was in and out. I had some stuff I got to take care of, but I definitely caught it. I didn't like LeBron wasn't as fierce as LeBron could be. It was one time, man, when I think LeBron was bodied up
You watch the
against.
same game?
I mean, no, he wasn't consistent. You know what I mean? Like it was times where people, like I think Iguodala was driving, and he just kind of stood there. Like I feel like if you want it, man, you got to go up after everything. I mean, granted, you know, I mean, like I was saying, you get tired, you get winded, and everything like that. But it's just,
Yeah.
you know, you don't when this was the elimination game, you got to leave it all out on the court, man.
That's not to go back to last podcast, but I think that's one of the key factors of the conversation of Michael Jordan versus LeBron is the fact that Michael Jordan didn't have those. He would, if he was able to breathe, he was going all out defending whoever had the ball, especially those fast break moments, those moments like when KD hit the shot in game 3. All of those moments, Michael Jordan is up in your body, he's defending, he's ready, and is in there. And LeBron has too many moments of, I'm not going to give that maximum. I'm going to let Iggy just come running down the lane and dunk twice.
Yeah.
I understand back in the days though, that ain't happening.
I don't know.
It
man.
wasn't happening.
I feel like there's a reason. There's reasons for both of those. Just those two scenarios. First of all, man, Kevin Durant played like a man possessed. He definitely he played the 5 games like they were his last 5 games. And even though game 4 they kind of let that one go and he didn't shoot as well, he still ended up with like 30-something points or whatever. But when you talk about the 2 best players in the NBA, arguably Kevin Durant and LeBron James, it's not too much either one of them can do with each other defensively. So, and you saw it last night. KD was really smart. Even the whole series, he was really smart. When he had LeBron on him, what'd he do? Pull-up jumper. Can't nobody defend that shot. It's either he misses it or he makes it. If they switch to Tristan Thompson or they switch to your boy from the Nets, Richard Jefferson. If they switch to Richard Jefferson, he's driving and pulling up. So, he just played his game to the best of his ability. Now, when it came to LeBron, yeah, there was a couple hustle plays I think he let go, man, but I can't say he didn't leave it all out on the floor because he did everything possible. This man is the only person average.
Again, I never said that he didn't leave it all on the floor. What I did say was Michael Jordan is getting up in his gut. He's not letting Kevin Durant shoot that jumper in game 3 with no hand in his face.
He had a hand in
He's
his
not
face.
letting. No, he didn't. You better go and watch that tape again, my brother. Second off, he is definitely not. Michael Jordan is not letting Iguodala come dunking through the lane when he's anywhere around him easily. Just twice in an elimination game, it's not happening. Like, I understand, and look, don't get it twisted. I love the king, but compared to Michael Jordan and remembering the feeling, what happens, what he used to do, how he used to do it. This man was 6-0 in the finals, ladies and gentlemen. Not what is LeBron's record now? And I know he's faced so many Hall of Famers and all of this great stuff, but when rubber meets road,
Come on, man.
I thought
Look,
Jordan lost in the one the finals.
first of all,
no.
He didn't lose in the finals.
6-0.
Oh, he got
6-0. Yeah, he's lost in the playoffs.
in the first round.
Sweat,
Yeah.
right? Sweat right out.
Before he
Okay,
actually
cool.
got
Just
there,
want to make sure that he was sweat. Okay.
Hey, look, I don't know why we talking about this past stuff.
LeBron's definitely been sweat.
We're
Hey, listen.
We're already
LeBron.
in,
I can't play LeBron on 1-on-1. So listen, that man has that. So I can't even step into his arena.
we're already in the nothing to watch season. I don't know why y'all talking about this. It just makes me mad because here's the thing: LeBron is the best at everything on that team. He's the best scorer. He's the best defender. He's the best rebounder. He's the best passer.
The best guy on the bench. Coming off the bench.
You know what I mean? When he goes sits on the bench, he's the best guy sitting on the bench.
Yep, he's the best. He's the best cheerer. He's everything.
So, you can't say that about Michael Jordan. You can't say that about him. They had the pieces around him that he didn't have to do everything, and that's
And I
what kind of
swear.
happened after game 2. If you notice on defense, LeBron was just kind of just relaxing on defense because that's how he was
had to play
conserving
offense.
energy.
Hey,
That's how he was conserving
that's
energy.
Fine and dandy, but it still remains. Look, I understand the different eras. They have different challenges.
We need to
and
fact
I'm
check
not
it, dog,
saying
because
it. I'm not
I got a
saying it
question.
in
How
the sense
often-
of I think that LeBron is a better basketball player. He knows the game better. Is more intelligent with the game. Is more of a specimen for the game. But when you're talking about where rubber meets road as far as legendary status and who really is like that guy. He's not showing that he is going to.
And look,
Go ahead.
I'm not even in the debate of who's better, LeBron
Right.
or MJ, right?
Right.
Because in my opinion, why LeBron gets so much flack is because he changed the game as far as how players execute contracts and how long they sign for. He took the power away from the owners and the general managers, and he put it in the hand of the players, and he will forever be looked at some kind of way because of that. And then beyond that, the other thing is I support LeBron because I think every single one of us in some shape, form, or fashion, we are LeBron of our respective areas, because how many of you on this podcast or how many of you listening are probably the best at what you do in your place of work or wherever it is, and you don't get the credit that you deserve, or people are always talking about you. They find some other thing to talk
Find
about other than
something,
giving
right.
you the credit that you deserve for what you do. So that's why I support LeBron and I stand behind him, because shoot, I am LeBron James.
That's the
what I
next
mean?
commercial.
I just
the
want to
next
put this
commercial.
disclaimer out there so that you guys don't get it twisted. I do love LeBron James and I do support him emphatically. However, I've said what I've said.
No, likewise. I think LeBron is one of the most phenomenal players to have ever played. It's just when you are a fan of a person and then you see someone doing things that you know that somebody is capable of doing more. I mean, granted, I'm not on the court. I'm not in his head. I'm not there. But when you see someone allowing things to happen when you feel as if they shouldn't, it just those things are noticed. I would say those noticed.
I think
I
that
don't know if he
How
was
come he
just-
didn't do
I
that
don't
spin
think-
move? How come he didn't do that spin move at least 5 times in every quarter that he started doing at the end of the game? That
nobody
would
could stop. But you
No,
know
but
what
all
though?
of a sudden,
why
I
they
mean,
stopped it?
no,
This is why
why?
I love the way Golden State won that
No
game
fouls,
last night,
right?
Because when it came down to the not even the fouls, they started just giving away buckets. Like you said, LeBron was coming down and just driving to the basket. Why? Because they was already up by like 7 or 8 points. And if I'll trade baskets with you for the rest of the night, that's what we're going to do, because they couldn't play enough defense at the end
You
of the
keep
game.
hitting twos. We gonna come down the other end and we gonna hit a 3.
Yeah, exactly.
He
So
drops some
it-
twos in there
the-
every now and then. Yeah.
I just think the scheme, the coaching, I mean, it ain't hard to coach this team. Steve Kerr has a freaking all-star team. minus
He got
Sorry.
7 rings now. This is his 7th ring he's gotten. But
Steve Kerr is doing the same job Larry Coker did with UM.
Yep.
It's, hey, buddy, sit back, enjoy the ride, have a great time, go do some yoga, get spiritually together. We got this, champ. Go ahead and let Mike Brown get some, some get back, some reciprocity, on the old team that fired him not once but twice, ladies
And
and
still
gentlemen.
getting paid.
So I understand.
still getting paid from them.
Yeah,
Dude
you
got a
know,
ring, but playing against somebody got a check right from them at the same time. That's how you
Steve
play.
Kerr has 6. Steve Kerr has 6 rings, 7 rings.
It's 7,
Oh, yeah.
7 now.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
67.
Like, I don't know how many he got with Jordan and the Spurs, but he got 2 with Golden State too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot about.
Spurs.
No, I didn't forget about the Spurs. I forgot about that other championship that the Golden State got
Jeez,
that was just
a
right?
year
Wow.
before.
2 years ago.
I was gonna
they got
say
it.
something though,
They
but I
definitely
forgot what I was gonna
got
say. So I guess we can jump off.
Okay, a quick question. So to get off LeBron, what do y'all think about KD and the hype about him getting the ring and how he got it? The whole thing about
Nobody care
him going
about
from
that,
OKC
man.
going to Golden State.
Whatever. Listen,
At the
dude.
end of the
he-
day,
I mean,
man.
no.
No, I don't.
absolutely
Yeah,
care
he did.
about all of
He did
that.
he did the right thing. I think he needed to change. He needed to adjust. It didn't mean whatever. If the team's
okay,
there,
okay.
he's down with one. First of all, and I hope that no one's listening to this podcast in Oklahoma City. But who wants to be in Oklahoma City? Like, first of all, as
Hey,
a
listen.
city.
Hey, listen. I hope that everybody in
Nobody's
Oklahoma
listening
City.
to
I hope that everybody in
Please,
Oklahoma
I would
City is
love to-
listening to this, because
Invite me out.
everything's
I'll
closed
come.
right now. Everything's closed
Exactly.
right now, so they might as well be listening to the podcast.
So yeah, I think it's good
I
for
was
him
gonna say-
for him to move over there and him to go whatever. It didn't matter where he went. If he went to he went to DC, if he went to the Heat, if he went to anywhere else, like he was determined. Granted, it was easier here, but you still gotta fit in with that, and he had to fit in his role and make it work. And I mean, he's still a leader of a team no matter what. Him and Steph Curry are there. He won an MVP because he's naturally a leader. He's won these things before. Just he needed that ring, and now he's solidified. Now he can actually do things and have fun with the game, like LeBron did when he went to Miami. Like you gotta now pass that bubble so the fun can start. Now he can say, "All right, I got my ring. Now I can enjoy." He won't ever be a Barkley.
I think it's exactly like when LeBron went to the Heat. I think it's a lot of vindication because
Incorrect.
y'all remember. Oh, it's exactly like when LeBron went to the Heat. Only the team
It
was
absolutely
already set.
is not.
It's
because
not.
because
It's
the
not.
Heat
No.
the Heat were not
Yeah.
the
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 73
Heat had a losing. We had a losing
game.
record. We had a
Really bad
losing
team.
record before LeBron came here.
Right.
There's a big difference. We
So-
did not have three
They did not
already
have
all stars.
73
Not
He
great
came
players.
with 3 people.
All-stars.
Like, what do you
Huh?
mean?
Huh?
He didn't have 3 people already there. He came with 3.
And they
3
still
people.
lost
So
Came
the
with
first
one
year.
other person.
Came
He
with
came
Chris
with one
Bosh.
other
They
person with
got
Bosh.
Ray Allen.
No, Wade was already there.
Wade was already there.
Chris
He
Bosh
came
doesn't
with Chris
really
Bosh.
count.
They went
Chris
and
Bosh
got Ray
doesn't
Allen.
Again.
Are you kidding me?
Again.
I'm dead serious. I'm
again,
not a Chris
again,
Bosh
to
fan.
compare a 72 winning team to the Miami Heat of yesteryear. Look, I'm again, look.
That's
I
debatable.
don't fault anybody for going to excel in their career, going to get his championship ring. However, I know working at UM, I don't care what FSU offers me. I'm not going to work.
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
And my thing was that was the only thing that sours me on what he did. I understand
I
it,
agree
and
with
I'm
that.
not, I'm not mad at it. It's just that I find it hard as far as like you literally went to the team that you guys are battling with
Like,
and facing
down
over and over again.
3-1.
That was your hurdle. It's just personally in the growth of being a man, like that's just something you're just taught that it's like, yo, you just don't do it. I understand why he did it, and yo, all hats off to him. I still think he's an outstanding basketball player. I still think that he deserves his ring. I still think that, hey, he is where he is. But again, I do not compare his journey and his decision of LeBron going from the Cavs to the Heat. The Cavs and the Heat were not adversaries. The Cavs and the Heat did not have anywhere near the type of record that, I mean, you're bringing a cannon to heavy artillery.
Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
In that sense, I get you. I understand. I agree. Like, I never really agree with going to the opponent because I don't think I could have done that either. That's like me transferring from UM to Florida State. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
People did it.
To play.
People did it at UM all the time.
Yeah, but then they gotta
Yeah.
sit out a year and all that. But I don't know. I just
I don't
have
talk to
that
them
level
anymore.
of
They're dead
hate.
to me.
Right, they're dead to me. But when you talk about what he did and putting himself in the best position for himself, making the best decision, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Because
but what-
that's what LeBron did, because KD wasn't going to win a championship in OKC, in my opinion, not with Russell Westbrook.
Right now. No.
So the sports business is this is a business, right? So we think about the process as a business. Let's take out the team aspect of the athletic part. If Kevin Durant was a vice president at Coke and he was offered more money over at Pepsi to do the right thing at Pepsi, and people do this all the time in corporations.
They do that all the time.
Was this man?
happens all the time.
It was a business deal that was profitable for him and for his family, for his legacy. He did the right thing
But you
by
can't
him.
take out the sports and the team aspect of a team game. Like it's a
Yeah,
Listen,
I
how
don't
many
think-
people
I don't think-
left
I don't think you
Magic?
because at the end of the day, would KD still have that ring if he went to a different team?
If he went to the
this
Wizards,
this
he might
year,
have
no.
competed.
This year, no, he wouldn't. No.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like
Sure, he would. He would definitely have that ring if he went to the Cavs.
Yes. Yeah, he would. Good call, Kay. Good call.
They would have had to let go a lot of people to make that work though.
He would definitely have that ring if he went to the Spurs.
Oh yeah, all day.
Yep.
But so a team that I see what you're saying. If he went to but still he got a supporting cast already established and a winning team, like Fresh said, a winning team.
Yo, but who wants to rebuild?
So why should I go
Who
from
wants to go through the process of rebuilding again? I want to just jump in. Like, let me just jump in and get the ring.
Hey,
I'm not.
Look,
I'm not saying.
again, I'm not.
You know what I mean? I'm not knocking
nobody's
him.
mad
Nobody's
at him.
mad, you know what I'm
He is. Look, all intents and purposes, they are sitting right now at the helm of a dynasty.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
Next
is
3
going
years,
to
easy.
be few and hard pressed
Barring
to
any
figure
injuries.
out how to create some type of firepower. But at the same time, don't be surprised if you don't see Paul George in that Cavs outfit next year, ladies and gentlemen. Mark my words, you heard it here first. They need some more juice to get loose in the Cavs.
I was gonna say that I guarantee you, if Klay Thompson leaves Golden State, they will not be champions again.
They will not.
next year.
He has to stay. He is the glue. He is the centerpiece.
He is.
And this is what people don't talk about. Well, he's not the centerpiece. Draymond's the centerpice, but
J-Ron, yeah.
I don't know.
but he is a
Draymond is definitely the centerpiece.
he is a lockdown defender, and if
Exactly.
you lose him, it all falls apart.
He's-
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Klay is a key aspect because he's the one. Not only is he a lockdown defender, but more importantly, when Curry and anybody else is not going off, all of a sudden he's the person that they're like, oh shit. Excuse
And
me
that's
again.
why they
they're
would
like,
just
oh
have
god,
too much
Klay
for
is
the
there.
Cavs because you got 4 people that you got to somehow defend. That's why Iguodala just happened to be getting all of these layups or whatever because LeBron got to check
AI
him and 3 other people.
Iggy just was feeling it. He was
AI
feeling
is
it
good.
last night
He,
though
yeah,
too.
that, he's
Because
the
he
second
started,
AI,
he
so
just started
I'm cool with
stroking.
him. He did play the
He
Philly.
started stroking.
I don't know.
I'm
Dog.
cool
I'll
with
get at
AI.
the
He
Kyrie
grew up
before I
with
give
Philly.
it to Klay. I'll get at the
Hey,
Kyrie before I get
Listen,
to
listen. There are 2 people in that starting lineup that allowed them to do what they do. Is Draymond and Klay. You break either one of them
Yeah.
up.
You're right.
There's a
Draymond
problem.
is their
There's a problem.
firecracker. He's like Dennis Rodman.
Klay. Yeah, that team
Where
has to
it's,
stay
you know, he's
exactly
just-
the way it is. Has to.
It's like taking Richard Sherman off the Seahawks defense. They can't
Sherman,
they can't run the
Sherman.
defense that they run if you get rid of him.
One thing I do want to talk about though is Steve Kerr, and I think he got it from Popovich if I heard correctly. But when he said it was like a pregame interview, and he said he told his team that he wanted them to play with the appropriate fear in this game 5. Now when I heard it, I was listening to the game on my way home from work last night, and I heard it, and it just didn't really rub me the right way. Because as an athlete, you talking about playing with fear. Now the operative word is appropriate, and I think that's what's going to be the difference maker when we break it down. But when you talk about playing with fear, in my opinion, there's no room for that because you're not focused on what you need to be focused on when you're playing the game. So when you tell me to play with the appropriate fear, it's like kind of sending mixed messages. And I think I know what he meant, and it might have just been the way the words came out. And I think he meant, don't take this for granted or understand the moment. Play up to this moment. I don't necessarily know if he meant play with fear because I don't know. I go back to when I used to play football or basketball or anything. Football, for instance, up until I got to like 9th grade or whatever, I was kind of timid on the football field, and that was just because when I moved from Florida to Virginia, it was a different type of athlete. Like I played in Colonial Heights first, and then I played in Petersburg, so it was different type of athletes. I played with a lot of Caucasian kids, white kids, and I was basically the only black child on the team. So I was able to outrun everybody. I was able to outcatch everybody. I was the franchise of the team. Then I moved to the other side of the city, Petersburg, and I'm playing with other black kids who are just as talented as me. So I didn't really know how to deal with that. And so up until I got to high school and I made it to that certain level of confidence, I would play with a certain level of fear. And then even in high school, some games, it would take that first hit before I would actually get my head into the game and be able to function properly. But playing with that fear, it takes your mind into so many different places because I feel like you're worried about the wrong thing. So I don't know how I could tell my team to function and go out and win this, closeout game by telling them to play with an appropriate level of fear. So I want to get you guys' take on this so y'all might be able to break it down and then we go on from there.
No, I don't think when he says fear, I think you can interpret it how you want to interpret it, but I think that he maybe meant maybe more so a certain level of understanding. Like, know that this is a phenomenal team that you're facing. Like, know that
Or sense
like,
of
you're not just
urgency,
gonna go out
maybe.
here and get on
Like,
the
that's
court
what-
and
that's kinda-
throw the ball up and they just go drop
Well,
in. While that happened often for Golden State in many different areas. It did seem like KD could just throw it up and drop it in, but know that that you have to put in the work and know that it's not going to come easy. So having that, like I said, I think that fear can be changed to, like I said, having the appropriate level of understanding to know that.
So taking that fear and turning it into, you need to execute a certain type of way. So fear or understand that this team's not going to go away, but you need to use that to, execute to win this game, or utilize it as some type of fuel or motivation, right?
Absolutely. And it's just like, what does it say? I shall fear no man but God do I walk through the valley of death, right?
Right.
And really, I should never fear another man. If anything, I should fear myself, that I let myself down, that I don't push myself to achieve, to do more, to accomplish things, that I allow something to stop me from being the best person that I can be.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself. It's like I think a certain level of fear is healthy. Like it reminds you that you're human. It reminds you that you're that you're, like you said, like Kay said, afraid of not living up to your full potential or afraid of defeat. So I think that a certain level of fear in your life like you said, you can use it as fuel and get you to that.
Once again, I think why he said appropriate. It's not saying just any fear. It's saying, hey, you're going to have, it's natural as a human being to have some type of fear, but make it be the appropriate type of fear that will actually turn into fuel and help you progress, instead of it being, some type of fear that will then put you in a hole and not allow you to, conquer what you're looking to conquer.
So how do you discern the difference? Like, what is the appropriate type of fear? Because it's still in my head, I'm thinking fear. I
think it's just like Carol said. It's more about the fear of self letdown than it is about the fear of defeat. It's about the fear of you not fully giving all of yourself to the task or moment or whatever it is, or preparation even, and fearing and using that fear to push you to do it, as opposed to getting lost in the fear of defeat, the fear of, oh man, are they really that much better than, who cares about how much better they are than you? That you can't control how much better somebody is in you. At the end of the day, you can control how much better you will make yourself. And so fear that you're not going to live up to your own expectations or ability of yourself, as opposed to being pushed towards the opposition.
Yeah, it's like don't fear what happened yesterday. Don't fear what happened last year. Live in this moment right now, and hopefully you have prepared yourself to deal with the moment right now. And if you didn't, that's the thing that you should fear, that you didn't prepare yourself for this moment.
So how do you, Carol, specifically live and move like that, with that type of mind state, given that statement? So how do you live with that appropriate level of fear?
Well, the first thing is you have to put yourself in the appropriate situations to even have that fear, because if you've reached a state of comfort, you probably are living without fear, because you know that you're going to dominate, that you already have mastered whatever this low level challenge is. Right. So you have to constantly put yourself in a state of challenge, otherwise that never creates the fear to begin with, because if it's not a challenge, then there's no fear. So you have to first put yourself in a situation to even feel that feeling, that emotion. And then once you have that emotion, you now have to figure out and get to the root cause of why do you have that emotion? Why is that going on? And then build your action plan from there of how you're going to prepare yourself to deal with this the best. So most of it is a mental thing first, before it's a actual physical execution type situation.
So define your comfort zone, and then once you've defined your comfort zone, understand it, what that fear is that's driving you, or I guess inserting itself into you, to be able to turn it around and get out of it.
You have to recognize your comfort zone first. You have to recognize you're comfortable, because some people go through it every single day and don't realize that they're just in their comfort zone. They think that, I go to sleep, I wake up, I do this, I return home, and then I prepare for the next day.
Right.
Right? If nothing ever throws you off of that cycle, then chances are you're probably not challenging yourself enough.
I think that, it kind of reminds you back. Like I said, I'll give an example of the ability. In order for you to get to the point where you can allow the ability to not have fear is with real-time practice and doing it real time and doing what you're worried about sometimes. Public speaking, for instance, is one thing that most people tend to do at home, and no problem. They can talk in front of their friends. And if you're in a group, or let's make it more simple, if you're in a group of people and you're just talking normally, but then all of a sudden everyone stops and looks at you, and you gotta be the one that says the next statement. People live in that fear right there that, what if I say something stupid, or I say something that doesn't make sense? How am I going to be able to go forward there? But being able to know that, you're just holding a conversation, you're living in that moment, you're taking care of it, like those things you practice, you live at work, at presentations, all that comes through, and living in that fear, or the appropriate amount of fear to say what you guys say but not worry about it, works out well. Then you can't care. You got to take care of you and not care what other people think sometimes. Because people think about you can cause you to have the wrong fears versus you taking care of yourself and doing that.
Amount of fear allows you to remain humble, as opposed to becoming arrogant and becoming big-headed and conceited. Knowing that at any moment it could be taken away from you. At any moment, like, while yes, it is in my control to prepare myself and do everything that I can to get to the destination I'm trying to get to, or to ultimately achieve that goal. At any moment, something can, because ultimately I'm not in control of certain things in life. So at some point, something can come my way. So living with that appropriate amount of fear allows you to, like I said, to be humble and to be grateful for what you.
Right, and then putting yourself. So it sounds like what I'm getting from you guys, especially what Art just said, is putting yourself in those pressure type of situations. You know what I'm saying? So that way you get to the point where you have to embrace that fear, like we say with the Fledgeology mission statement, embrace your fear so that you can get out of your comfort zone and on to living that purpose-driven life. So the more you put yourself in those pressure situations, those situations that build that fear up, and then you be successful at it, or maybe you learn the lesson from it, but that's what's going to ultimately get you, to the point where you are living with an appropriate level of fear, I guess, so that you're able to perform in any given situation.
And I think it's
and let's not think that.
I think it's the realization of how many fears that you've had are really worth fearing. How many times have there been, things that you were so scared of either doing, trying, experiencing, so terrified of that once you finally got through them, you realized, wow, they weren't even a fraction as bad as I anticipated or that I planned for, and I could definitely do that again, or it definitely isn't so terrifying that I need to stay away from it. So it's really taking that time to understand that 9 times out of 10 it's just the fear that you're fearing and not really the activity or event or whatever you're trying to strive for.
And I want to spin from the phobia mindset of fear to the fear of not being success. Thinking about people fear losing their jobs. People go to work every day, and Kay said it earlier, you go to work to do the mundane circle over and over again. But that's because you fear that if you don't do what you have to do, your family can't eat. So that fear motivates you to go to work and follow the rules the right way. In society, we live in the mindset of the fear of what's going to happen if we don't do A, B, or C. So it's not always fear of frightful or fear hard movie. This is fear of not providing for those that need providing for.
Let's put a real life example out there. So Art talked about the fear of public speaking, and that took me to something that I said some time ago. And it was, I have never been afraid of public speaking, but I have been afraid of the public display of who I am. Right? So I think most people don't actually have a fear of public speaking. Most people have a fear of people looking at them and all attention is on them. That's what the fear really is.
Judging. People hate to be judged.
You're afraid to be judged. You're afraid to be criticized. You're afraid for people to critique you. You're afraid that somebody is sitting there saying, "Oh my gosh, you know, that person's too heavy. They need to lose weight. Oh my gosh, that makeup. Why did she do that?" That's what we're really afraid of, and we won't know it unless you are doing amateur comedy. People give you that feedback right away. But if you're doing public speaking, it's totally different, because you might see people whispering to each other, but you don't know what they say. So then there's the fear of I don't know what they said. So that's just a real life example of, okay, let's get to the root cause of what it is you're really afraid of. It probably has nothing to do with you actually speaking. Let's give another example. People don't go to the doctor. Why don't people go to the doctor?
Because they're scared of finding out that they have
of hearing
something
something
crazy
wrong, yeah.
going on.
Results.
Exactly.
And did you know it's cheaper to go to a doctor? Actually, your physical is free, but most people don't go and use a physical because they're afraid they're going to find something in that physical that they don't want to hear about, or blood work. I realized that when I went to go, because my birthday came up, every year you should go yearly to go do your physical, and I was asking for a copay for it, and the receptionist was like, no copay for your pre-work. And I was like, well, what do you mean? The sign says copay. And she said, no, it's the physicals are free. It's just part of your insurance to cover yearly. But most people don't do this every year, or they just skip it because they're fearful of coming in to get something checked out. So you don't see them for 5 years until something's wrong. And that's the fear of going to a doctor, because doctors always tell you what's wrong, because you don't go enough to say what's
and
right.
If you keep digging, let's keep peeling back the layers on that. It's not that you're afraid of finding out something's wrong. It's you're afraid that you won't be able to handle it. Like whether it be financially, or you're going to have to miss work, or people that are depending on you, and you're not mentally prepared to deal with that. But you just sum it up in, I hate going to the doctor.
Yeah, nah, man. That's silly, man. I think that's crazy that people would live with that type of fear in any given situation. I think Fresh might have said that earlier, how these fears are just like silly fears or what have you, man. But I think it's really important that you have to embrace that in whatever it is that you're doing, man. At the end of the day, I think that's the true takeaway from this entire conversation, centered around, that appropriate level of fear, is embracing it, so that you put that little bit of pressure on yourself, see what you can do and maneuver with it, and then grow from it from there.
Yeah, and I'll throw out a couple fear acronyms. One is false education accepted as real. The other one is false evidence accepted as real. And it all comes down to, look, you need to do the discovery, and you need to face the fear. And in facing the fear, that means that you're going to spend the time researching and figuring out what is the actual root cause. If you list all the reasons of why you have this fear, and then you go through beyond that and you start listing, okay, well, what's the worst case scenario that could happen? And how bad is that ultimately going to be? I'm pretty sure you'll find out at the end of the day that, you know what, I might as well go ahead and do this, because that's not that bad. I can deal with that.
Easy.
Hey, man, I don't know where you're going next in this podcast, but I got something I need to get off my chest, man. And it's something that I realize is one of my top 3 pet peeves. Okay, do we have time for that?
Say it with chest.
We got a little
Say it
bit of
with
time for
chest.
that.
We got a little bit of time.
Sounds like a new segment to me.
Always got time for K. He's
You
always
know
time
what
for
really
the boss.
grinds K's
Always time for the
gears?
boss.
It sounds like a segment.
I cannot stand qualifying questions.
What do you mean?
Let me give you an example. You're at work and somebody says, hey, what do you have going on today? And really, that's not the question. The question is that they need your help with something. Can you do this, or can you do that? But instead, hey, what do you have going on today? Right? And it's like, come on, man. Or here's one. Here's
It's just
another
so
one.
funny that you say that, because when you used to be in the office, like, yeah, that's happened several times.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Hey, what do you got going on Friday? What do you need? Tell me what you need.
Hey, well, you know me. I'm Mr. Bring It Back to relationships.
I was just about to
That's,
bring it there.
Females love to be
man.
the head
Hey,
detective.
do you want to eat
and
chicken?
ask qualifying questions instead of Let me know the point. I don't want to drive around the block to go to this house. Let's just go straight to the house. Let me know what it is that you need so we can get that accomplished, as opposed to talking about all this other stuff.
Hey, are you tired of being in the house? What?
No.
Oh no. Here's the. What do you want to eat? That's the one that gets me.
I don't really look at that as a qualifying question. I look at that more as, you're trying to put it on me to make a decision about food, and
that's just never a good idea.
Hey, or are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Right.
Because
If I was hungry, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'm probably gonna be more on letting you know, hey, I'm about to get this.
Yeah,
If
man.
you want some, you can. If not, figure it out.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
The qualifying. What happened, Carol? So what happened that made you want to bring up this qualifying question situation? Because I'm with you 100%, man. I can't stand that junk either. I would much rather you just ask me what's going on, or if you say, hey, do you have a minute? Then we can talk. That's one thing, man. But yeah.
Man, it's happened several times the last few days, and it was on my mind, these qualifying questions, and it drives me up the wall, man. I need to get better at that. I really do. I need to look at my watch and do the breathing exercise every time it happens, because I'm telling you, like, I go from frigid to sizzling real quick.
Easy. All right, is there any randomness from your corner of the show before we go to Carol's closing?
Oh, there's always randomness in Art's corner. So
You need to sweep your corners.
No. No, they all. No matter how clean it gets, it always someone else comes in there. I'll go to the next one. But I was sitting down going through YouTube, and I was showing Namdi just some old videos and seeing which ones he would connect with, and the sounds and how the videos make the kids kind of mind go. Because he's totally on Bubble Guppies right now, or Bubble Guppies, and what's the other one? Team Umizoomi. That's his two shows, man. No matter what happens, he'll stop. So I said, well, let me try something old. So I put on the Jetsons, and then I wanted to see what happens. And while I was playing, I was like, did he just give cash to his son? Aren't they in the future? I mean, really? Are we still using cash? And, at that point in time, 2000 or something, like, we got flying cars, we got food by pills, but you're still
Bitcoin
using
had
cash
failed
as an
already.
option? At that point, shouldn't we... Right? Like, shouldn't we have, like, fingerprint payments?
No
or
fingerprint
why are we
payments,
using
man.
cash?
That's the
So
market
that was
beast,
just
bro.
a random thought.
I'm halfway skeptical about putting my fingerprint in my phone, and then you got the Samsung Pay and the Google Pay or whatever the heck is all that. No fingerprint payments, man.
I use that. Oh
Is it
man,
that much
I use
convenient?
that so much on everything. Oh, it's so much more convenient. I mean, I literally, when you're going places, I do it for a surprise factor, because people go in there and they tell me it doesn't work, and I'm like,
You just don't know how to
no,
do
it does work. No, sir, I'm sorry. Hold on. Boop, and they just go, and their eyes open wide. I'm like, yeah, give me my ticket. Especially for the movie theater. I love a 16-year-old kid who thinks he knows more than me, and I'm showing him something. I'm just like, yeah, give me my ticket, give me my nachos, let's do my thing. So, yes, but yeah, it just boggles me down that in movies you see other ways of payment for cash or things are happening all through web, but in a cartoon that was so futuristic, it still used cash. So some people's mindset wasn't there yet. It's kind of funny to think that they were so far advanced, yet so old, so still stuck in the way of payment. Surprised they didn't have coins in that show.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of things in the Jetsons that I'm still waiting for. Like, I want to just wake up.
A black person.
Message.
We already left the Earth by that time, as Erykah Badu says, the mothership
Right? Exactly.
come back to get us.
Easy, man. Jay, man, I almost forgot about you, man. Give us a quick rundown of your show that's airing on Sundays, you say, on Facebook Live?
Yeah, man. Sunday, we're gonna trying to do it every Sunday between 5 and 6. Basically, the name of the show is We Are Live, and it's the name of the show, but it's also a message. What we want to portray is that every day you get, man, every day you walk outside, you wake up, and you go after, whether it be your goals or dreams, or you're just going to work. You driving in your car, you're live. There's no cutbacks. There's no edits. There's no rewind button. No pause, stop, slow down. Basically, every day you get your live. So make your show phenomenal. That's the message that we're trying to portray. And we do it every Sunday, like I said, between 5 and 6. So we'll see you live this Sunday coming up.
5 and 6 p.m.
How would somebody, like, where did they go to see you live?
Oh, it's on Facebook. I'm up there. It's on Facebook. Yeah, just
Who are you on Facebook, sir?
Oh, there you go. Basically, Jeremiah Dace, if you want to look me up. And,
You will not find them under T.I.
no, definitely not T.I.
You need to add that as like a surname underneath that. Easy, man. Check with
T.I.
Dog out
on a whole
Sunday,
nother
5
show
p.m.,
at
man.
5 and 6
he
on
provides
Sundays.
A great, phenomenal message each Sunday. Carol, go ahead and take us home, sir.
We talked about appropriate fear today, and I really want to look. Your homework this week is to write down your fears, and if you need to go back and listen to the whole message again, do that. But I'll give you another real life example. So I got divorced, as many people do. What did I say? 50% of the people that get married now get divorced, and I said that I would never get married again. And it was all because of fear. And I was fearing going through divorce again. But when I go back and look, it really was not about getting divorced again. My fear, the appropriate fear, should have been that I did not heal myself. I did not go back and reflect on the things that I could have done better or what went wrong. I was not looking to improve myself as an individual and be comfortable in my union of one, because you can't have a union of two if you're not confident and comfortable in your union of one. So I had challenged myself to get to the root cause, and there were things that I had to do to prepare myself just to be happy with myself before I could look for happiness in anyone else. So root cause, I challenge you all to go out there, break it down, figure out your action steps, figure out what things you can do to prepare yourself for your next level. And if you do that, I guarantee you that fear will disappear.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can catch us on Apple, iTunes, Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, Blog Talk Radio, and whatever podcatcher you use to listen to the show. Do your homework. Send us your homework, info@fledgeology.com, man. Leave us comments on the podcast, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. info@fledgeology.com. But there it is. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen, here on the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing.
We got those window frames.
Ooh,
Now,
we didn't even let
your
him go
time
ahead and plug
to
us.
Take
Yo,
me
next week
to
I'm gonna talk about
another
Resident Evil.
place.
Hey, man, you gotta
Take
be
me
ready.
to another land.